Get that fucking trash out of your life. You have legacies to build. We grew that business from 3.4 million to 17.1. Horsepower, not horse shit. You want to be the parent that's an ally. They don't need another fucking friend. Not everybody's cup of whiskey. Toughest advice for the toughest businessmen. Be relentless. I was out here. We were living at the lake house here during the China virus 3 years ago, and I said to Krista, I said, I can't work out here all the time. I usually work from home. I said I need another place to work. So she said, well, what are you thinking? I said, I'm going to go in and I'm going to go into town and I'm going to buy a new home, and all I'm going to do is work in it. It's going to be my BadAZZ World Headquarters. And she just shook her head and she said, okay, you love real estate, so buy a home and whatever, but you need a place to write and to study each day and to put all your stuff. So I drove into town that day and I looked around in the nicest subdivision and I wanted a brand new home. I didn't want any repairs or anything like that. I wanted a home that's under warranty. All I was going to do is put my desk in it, put some stuff in the fridge, and that's it. That's it. It's just a place to work for 3 to 4 to 5 hours. A place to read, to copyright, whatever. A place where I can focus. My daughter was home from school because of the lockdowns and restrictions. It was just one of those situations where I needed space. So I drove into town, and a friend of mine, he's a developer, he said he was using this brand new home as his office. People that were buying homes in the subdivision, they would knock on, his desk was in it. And I said, listen, Dave, I want to buy this home. He said, well, Michael, this is the last one in the subdivision. He said, it's our office. I said, I want this home. I said, just beautiful, brand new, right? 3 bedrooms. Oh, just gorgeous. I said, I can see myself in here. There's lots of natural light, big deck on the back. I said, this is going to be World Headquarters in Perth. So he said, well, it's not for sale. So I said, everything's for sale. I said, how much? What's the number to make you pick up and move? He said, well, it's going to be a pain in the ass, but he said, I would do it for, he said, $650. And I said, well, no. I said, I wasn't born yesterday. So I said, what I'll do, I said, is I'll make you one final offer. I said, I'll do $550. Okay. I'll do $550 cash. And he said, done. He said, give me 2 weeks to move all my files and everything out of here. You got a brand new home to work in. So I drove home. I told Chris, I said, well, I just bought a brand new house in Perth and I paid $550 for it. And I'm going to put my desk in there with a couple of chairs. I'm going to move all my magazines, all my books, everything in there. I got a place to work now in the mornings. So I still have the place. It's gone up. I asked today what the evaluation is 3 years later, 3.5 years later, and the guy said I would sell it for between $750 and $800. So that's what the China virus has done for real estate. I mean, it's the same almost everywhere. I know there's a dip now, but still it's strong in a lot of areas, including where we live. So I bought that place with the money I got from selling my email list. Think about that for a second. So when I sold McLean Insurance in 2017, I did the deal, and I sold the company. I didn't sell the business. I didn't sell the building. They signed a 10-year lease, so I have that income from the building. But the whole deal was done. I got a record multiple, the highest they'd ever paid in the country. And I was happy. I'm like, okay, I'm only going to stay for 90 days. I'm out of here. My dad's going to keep working. It was a golden parachute, right? Everything that I wanted. And then I come home and I'm like, what about my email list? I never talked about it. Like, that's the honey that brings in the money. That's my number one marketing thing. I got an email list of 62,000 people active. Like, I mean, this was a massively active list. I did ticket giveaways, movie giveaways. I did contests. I raised money for charity. I used it to hire people. I used it to for free pizzas and cash flow, and it was everything. So I went back to them and I said, listen, I said, you may or may not be interested in this, but I said, I got an email list that I have a relationship with, 62,000 people. I said, every time I press send, I make more than 62 grand, but I said, you'll make 62 grand. An email is worth $1 per month, by the way, on your list. So if you have an email list of 100, that's $100 per month times 12, that's $1,200 a year. So when you build your email list up to 1,000, that's $1,000 per month on average if you're no good, if you're lousy at copywriting, if you're lousy. If you have a list of 500, that's $500 a month times 12 months. So it just shows you. So I said, listen, I said, every time I press send, this can bring in 60 grand, 70 grand, 100 grand in buyers, in people wanting quotes, in referrals and testimonials. They said, how much do you want for it? And I said, listen, I said, I'm not a greedy man. I said, I want $500,000 for it. And they were like, well, let's go back and let's ask our people and let's see if you're interested. I said, if not, I said, what we'll do, I said, is I'm going to sell it to somebody else. Think about that one. Okay, so I've got this email list of 62,000 people who have contacted us for insurance, and it wasn't included in the sale. So their mindset must be like, we don't want him to sell that to a competitor, especially somebody in this territory. They come back to me the next morning. It wasn't 10 o'clock, and they said, done. Can we sign the papers today? So I said, yep, we can sign the papers. And I got paid, 20 days later, 500 grand. And I kept that money in an account, and I was like, I'm going to invest it or whatever. And then that's when all the stuff happened. I was like, I need a place to work. I like real estate. I love investing in properties and land. And I want to work someplace that's good energy, lots of sunlight. And so I took that 500,000 and a little bit more, and I drove in there and I talked to my friend Dave, and I bought that property in a beautiful subdivision. So Leanne and I have worked in that house. I've worked there for 4 years. She's worked there for 2. And I asked the real estate guy today, he said, well, Michael, I would list it at 750. So that's 250 grand more than I paid for it. And I've been able to work there basically for free then, and 200 grand extra. But here's the thing. I bought it with the money from selling my email list, almost all of it. I had to put 50 grand extra in, and I had cash or I couldn't have done the deal. He wasn't going to sell it to me. He didn't want to move his company. He didn't want to move his office. But when I said 550 cash, he was like, I got to do it. I'll move. So that's the power of email. It's not only will it feed your family till the day you're out of business, but also at the end, it's an asset you'll sell. If you have an email list of 5,000 people that are like great buyers, they're prospects, they're high-end people, well, that's worth a lot. It's worth a lot. Basically, it's worth $1 per month. And then you can sell it for a multiple of that. You could sell it for a 5x or 10x or 20x. You're in charge. Or you could sell it to a competitor. But that's an asset. That's like owning the building. That's like owning a book of business. Like, that's the number one asset. So at the end of your career, when you sell your business and you walk away into the sunset on your own terms, you're going to have a nice nest egg there to sell separately. That could be like, oh my God, it could be your retirement home. It could be a trip around the world. It could be a new vehicle. It could be a swimming pool. You could pay off your mortgage. You could set up your kids. Email, the money that brings in the honey. It's not just going to feed you every day and every week and every month and every year. It's an asset you'll sell at the end of your career. And it bought me the World Headquarters in Perth. It bought me that house. And then, of course, real estate has increased. And, well, the rest is history. That's the power of the honey that brings in the money. Let me teach my email game to you. I've been at it for 20 years in every industry I've been in. Barbershop industry, hockey business, coaching, consulting, insurance. And I'm going to show you how to start with 0 emails, zilch, at scratch. And I'm going to teach you how the software to buy, how to capture emails, how to build your list gradually. And I'm going to write the 52 emails for you this year. I'm going to write an email for you every week. Think about that. All you have to do is sit in your boxer shorts and personalize this. It takes you 10 minutes and press send to create an avalanche of leads, referrals, cash flow, and buyers into your business. And it gets better every week, by the way. It gets better every month. It gets better every year. And it's very inexpensive to do. All you have to do is buy software. And I'll show you the software, the only one you should buy. And I'm going to hold your hand the whole year. It's only for 100 of my small business friends, guys and gals. I'm a small business owner. My dad was a small business owner. My grandfather ran a general store. I'm an Atlas Shrugged guy. You're the hero in the story, and I know that. And I want to work with small business owners. Email millions.coach. There's only a couple of spots left. The doors slam shut on May 31st. They slam shut end of this month, and we start the first week of June. You don't want to be left on the sidelines wondering what if. Email millions.coach. And here's the thing, it's free. It's literally, the return on investment makes it free. So I'm not going to charge you $1,000 a month, which I should. I'm not going to charge you $500 a month, which I should. That's 1 or 2 sales. I'm going to charge you $147 a month. That's pocket change. That's coffee money. I call it coffee money. Now, if you're an insider, if you're one of my brothers in my newsletter, or you're one of my, if you're one of my mastermind brothers, only $97 a month. Are you kidding me? That's pocket change. That's coffee money. That's $3.25 or less a day for me to hold your hand over the next year. And you can cancel at any time. After the first month, you don't like it. You say, Michael, I don't like this. Send an email to Leanne. She'll cancel, no more charge. No hard feelings either. Email millions.coach. I'm going to work with 100 small business guys and gals. I'm going to teach you soup to nuts my email game. Well, my email game, okay, I've been able to sell $150 million in the last 19 years in products and services, and 90% of it's been through email. 91% of this business, email. Insurance, 90% email. Barbershop, 85% email. I have a tight email game. I'm going to do a training every month. I'm going to show you the software. I'm going to show you how to write the emails. I'm going to write them for you. I'm going to hold your hand for a year. Email millions.coach. We're almost out of time. This is almost your life. Give this gift. Give this gift to your family. Give this gift of peace of mind and control to yourself. And give yourself this gift that when your career is finally over, you have that asset to sell. You can use that money to do something special. Travel, see the world, pay off debt, buy a swimming pool, whatever it is. Buy a second home. Give yourself that gift. Email millions.coach. Deadline May 31st. I look forward to working with you this coming June.